Yoda would do his last meditation. He taught Luke everything he knew, and he was ready to pass on to the other side. But as he passed on, he would wake up in a new place. The Force decided that people needed him. The Force decided there was another realm that needed him. So he woke up in the Hazbin universe. As Yoda looked around, he was very confused. He didn't know where anything was. As he began to walk around, he saw much stronger, much more powerful looking, not more powerful, but more powerful looking demons walk through him and walk around him. As he continued to walk, eventually he would stumble into an overlord. As it was Gestiel. Gestiel looked and saw this strange-looking man. Gestiel would say, "I bet you have a lot of power. Show me it." As he would shoot electricity, as this would give Yoda flashbacks to what happened before, flashbacks to Emperor Palpatine. And by the way, I'm not going to do a Yoda impression because, well, I thought about it, but it's just, no, too cheesy. So Yoda's going to talk normal for this what if. As Yoda would suddenly dodge right at the last second and force poke Gestiel down to the floor. As they would start to fight each other, Yoda would start to pick stuff up with the Force and throw it at Gestiel, knocking him down. As Gestiel said, "Let's stop this. You're very strong. Tell me, why are you here? You don't seem like a sinner." Yoda would say, "Sinner? That's an interesting way to put it." As he sensed evil all around him. Was he in some dark side planet? He didn't know. He needed answers, though. So he left. As Yoda would walk away, he would begin to ponder things. He didn't really know what to do here. The Force had sent him there. The Force sent him to this reality a long, long time ago. As why, he didn't know, but he would sense darkness all throughout this planet. But then he would sense something. He sensed a light soul, a soul full of light. As Yoda began to walk towards it, he walked towards a hotel. As Yoda began to look there, he was, well, intrigued. The hotel spoke to him. The hotel had something there, something that he could rely on. As Yoda knocked on the door, Charlie answered and said, "Are you here to be? Wait a second, you don't seem like the Force sent me here to help you." Charlie would say, "The Force? Okay." As Yoda would walk in, Angel would say, "Who's this decrepit old guy? He doesn't look like he can have a lot of fun." Yoda would look at Angel, and Yoda would say, "I can sense your type. You're the type that's broken and forced to rely on others to survive, even though he doesn't want to, and you hate yourself for it." Angel wouldn't get mad and storm off. As Yoda would say, "I can help all of you." As suddenly Vaggie would walk in and say, "I don't know about this guy, Charlie." Charlie would then say, "What do you mean?" As then Vaggie would say, "Well, look at him. He seems to be, well, off. There's something wrong about him, something off about him. He's not an angel, he's not a demon. He's like some shaman or something. I don't trust it," Vaggie would say. As Vaggie and Charlie were talking, as Vaggie would look at Charlie and say, "Listen, there's no way we can trust a guy like him." As suddenly, though, Alistair would walk between him and say, "I disagree. I can tell he's someone I can make a deal with." As Alistair would walk up to Yoda and say, "I'd like to make a deal with you." As suddenly, Yoda would look at Alistair and say, "I don't make a deal with the dark side. You may not be a Sith or even have their powers, but you're just like them." Alistair would say, "What's the dark side?" "Dark side are people like you. There's the light side that feeds off hope, that feeds off positive emotions, but then there's a dark side that feeds off negative emotions, like anger, hatred, and jealousy. You use your powers for negative reasons. That makes you part of the dark side." Alistair would say, "Isn't every sinner part of the dark side?" "Most, but you'd be surprised for what I've seen just within a few minutes." Alistair would say, "Is that so?" Confused. As Yoda would walk around, eventually Alistair would be intrigued, but he wouldn't want to ask any more questions because he could sense a great power coming from him. As he would go back to his room, Yoda would stay there for a few weeks, as everyone kind of got used to him as this wise talking man, but no one really took him seriously. One day, though, Yoda was talking to Husk. Husk would then say, "What do you want, magical hippie?" As then Suddenly, Yoda would look at him and say, I do not know the meaning of this word hippie, but may I ask you something? Husk would say, fine, spit it out. Why do you let Alistair control you? Husk would say, because I don't have the power to get rid of him. Yes, you do. I could sense that you could become one with the Force. As Yoda would pick up a drink and slide it to him with the Force. As Husk would say, cute magic trick, but you need more than that to beat Alistair. If I beat Alistair, will you agree to train under me and to learn more about the universe? Husk would say, psh, whatever. Fine, but it's not like you can beat him. As in, Yoda would walk up to Alistair's room. As Yoda would then knock on the door, as Alistair would open it, he would look at Yoda and say, what do you want? Yoda would then look back at Alistair and say, simple, I want you to release Husk's soul. I'll be willing to fight you and wager my soul. Alistair would smile and say, are you sure you want that? Yes. Suddenly, Alistair would summon tentacles and begin to swing them at Yoda, but Yoda would simply close his eyes and let the Force guide him. As if with every swing, every strike, Yoda dodged it. Yoda dodged all of them, as he jumped through all of them, each one effortlessly. As Alistair was confused, suddenly Yoda would use the Force to summon a weapon. It would be some stick or bat, not a lightsaber, but Yoda would make do with it, as he would jump on Alistair and whack him. As Yoda would keep on fighting, Yoda would hit Alistair again and again and again and again and again with his bat. As Alistair would try to use his magic to zap him or use his magic to do anything, he couldn't. Eventually, Yoda would wear him down as Alistair fell to the floor and began to pant, as he said, fine, you win. And suddenly Husk smiled as he felt his soul be freed. As Yoda would walk to him and say, can we train now? As Husk would say, you know what, sure. As Husk would begin to train under Yoda, he would learn the ways of the Force, and he'd feel a lot happier because of it. And well, Yoda felt good freeing Husk. He felt like he did the right thing. He remembered how Skywalker's mom was in chains, and they refused to do anything. They refused to cope with emotion. But now he learned his lesson. It's time for the Jedi to understand emotion. Or at least he does. The Jedi is an old, outdated word, but Yoda is here to help with emotions. Yoda is here to understand emotions, and Yoda is here not to reject them like he did in the past. Of course, there would be someone who would challenge Yoda, someone from a different place, someone who was filled with hatred, anger, and all these feelings and emotions in his heart, like a Sith. But in fact, he was supposed to be a good guy. He was supposed to be the first man on Earth. His name was Adam. As Adam came down with his angels, suddenly Husk would use the Force. The Force pushed a lot of them back in the portal. As then Yoda would show up behind Adam and say, I can sense great confliction in your heart. It's full of anger and judgment, but it always wasn't like that way. Go back, and we won't have a problem. Doesn't that sound good? As then suddenly Adam said, I'm not going back. As they both started to battle each other, Adam would use a lot of magic. But Yoda was too skilled in the Force, and Yoda knew what he was doing. While Adam relied on raw power, Yoda had power and skill, and outclassed Adam in every way you could think of. As Adam would begin to get beat, suddenly he would fall to the floor defeated, as Adam was expected to be destroyed, as he would yell and cuss at Yoda, but Yoda would say so much hatred. One day I hope you could love. As Yoda would force push him back, as he said, I wish we loved instead of rejecting all emotion. As suddenly, Yoda would wake up as a Force ghost. It seemed like the Force didn't need him anymore. It seemed like the Force used him for what was needed. And that's going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, link to this video in the comments below. I really enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. This video was definitely an interesting video to make. I'm not going to lie. I am quite a big Star Wars fan, or at least I used to be. I haven't really watched any of the Star Wars for about a year now, I'll be honest. And my day today is a lot better than yesterday. I'm still a little sad about what happened, but I feel a lot better. I'm on my trip. I saw a big city for the first time because, you know, I've grown up in a small town world, and like, this city is awesome. There's so much to do. There's so much to be amazed with. If I had a lot of money, I would live here. I don't know. Now, there's nothing wrong with living in a small town. A lot of people there are nice, but honestly,
I would rather live in a big town. Big towns just feel so much more amazing. They just have so much more of a drive to them, and it's just all the pretty lights at night. It's just, oh my God. Especially a big town like this one. Now, hopefully one day I can have enough money to live in a big town. That's kind of my dream. Living in a big town world with all this stuff to do, with all this stuff to experience. I think that would be magical. Of course, I know a lot of people feel the other way. They've lived in a big town, and they want to relax and see nature. And you know what? I respect that. There's nothing wrong with that. I like nature too. And maybe I can go, back and forth. Maybe I won't live in a big town forever. That's the cool thing about life, especially when you're young, is that you have a lot of time to think about it. You have a lot of places to travel. You have a lot of nature, a lot of cities, a lot of things to see, a lot of man-made things, a lot of Mother Nature-made things. There's just so much to see in this world. And well, I know a lot of people aren't privileged enough, and I understand that, but if you can travel, I recommend that you do. Go see your country, go see the world, go see things, go experience new things, because you only get one life. And no one knows what happens after you die. Many people say they have the answers, but no one truly knows. So enjoy it while you can. Enjoy the life that you're given. Enjoy the things on this earth that you are given. Enjoy the foods. Enjoy the simple things. Enjoy the complicated things. Enjoy your movies. Enjoy your shows. Enjoy nature. Enjoy everything you can get, because life is precious. And life can be sad sometimes. Life can really push you down sometimes. And life can be cruel, but can also be beautiful. Can also be just amazing. And I'm glad that I'm a part of your lives. I'm glad that my videos make it into your lives. And that means the world to me. And well, I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, like I said, life can be a very beautiful thing or a very cruel thing. But no matter what, it's your life. And you do you. And no matter who you are, if you're watching this, I love you. And I'm so glad you're watching this video. Peace out.